computer. All right. Yeah. All right. You hearing it? You hear it? All right.
All right, cool. All right,
Good.
nice.
So, I sent you the sort of reworked.
Yeah.
Now,
So do I need to open that up? What we doing?
I think you should open it up and read it, and you should see how it flows.
Yeah,
Because
I've had a look. I've had a look and see how it flows.
okay, well that's fine. That's fine then. You know that is I think one of the things that I noticed and I think which is quite important. Let me see. View. I want to do it right web view. Okay. One of the things that I noticed because I was really trying to understand what it is about the process, your process, that made it feel so kind of staccato, you know. It doesn't read very smoothly, and it's almost as though you're messing with my head as a reader. And so
right.
And then I realized what it was. It's just that you don't write full sentences most of the time. Let me explain that to you. If you have where is it? Here it is. And by the way, I like your prologue. It's great. I really like it.
What?
I say I like your prologue.
Oh, okay,
the bit
cool.
which I sort of tweaked and sent you. That I like that very much.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to find a passage. Right, that scene where Charlie is walking through
Brixton.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Although I mean, what I've done is kind of clarified it. You know what I think? I think that you I don't know what's I mean, have you got problem with your concentration these days or something? You got to write this thing almost as though it's a movie. That's a secret. You know, it's you literally have to track it. You know, as you would a movie. So, for example, and if you do that, then you would know what action comes first. Yeah. So, for example, you have if you look at the intro, you have a look at the intro. Man,
the prologue, you mean? The prologue? You mean
no, forget the prologue. The prologue, you have the prologue. We can talk about the prologue. I want the intro. We have intro starts.
Where it says intro starts. Yeah.
Right. Now, I'll read what you have, and then I'll show you what I did. So, and you really need to listen to me, Starboy. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Everything stayed the same. Nothing changed. Well, apart from you know, if you say that everything stayed the same, and then you say nothing changed, you're repeating yourself. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's tautology, right?
Yeah,
so you got to watch for that, and you don't even need it. That is the thought that crawled through Charlie's mind. Cut down on Charlie's internals. That is part of the problem, you know. Yeah. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem that I have with this is that you spend too much time on this guy just navel gazing. You know, it makes me, I mean, it doesn't warm me towards him. I think what you need to do more, and you have to trust the fact that the reader can pick up a lot about characters by the things they do, by the actions, by just watching them move about in the world. So rather than pausing every 2 seconds to go into his thinking, concentrate on his interactions with people. He did this, he did that, he went there, he did that. You know, have him moving, have him doing things, rather than having him reflect every 5 seconds, right? Cut down on that, really cut down on it very drastically. And also the way you
because like just quickly reading this intro, right?
Okay, go ahead.
He could, right? he could interact with somebody there, and that would give me the same outcome. Because I said everything stayed the same, nothing's changed. I could if I want to show that, couldn't I just simply like, okay, he walks past somebody who he's already seen same time before, whatever.
You see,
If I wanted to do that, I mean that kind of. But I understand what you're saying, that that's not actually needed. It's not actually needed.
You don't need it, but yeah, you can give that a sense of kind of what I call circularity, or even static. But it's not. I for this kind of book that we're talking about here, I wouldn't spend too much time on that. So for example, what you need to do is to concentrate on the key element of the story that you're doing. So, for example, you have everything's to say the same, nothing changed. That is the thought that crawled through Charlie's mind. All right, and then you start walking up Brixton Hill. Now, I would completely take that out and just have Charlie. In other words, it's a bit like the camera focuses on him, and you have Charlie battled his way up Brixton Hill. Yeah. The wind pushing against his 6-foot frame. That's a very beautiful, clear picture, like a photograph, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Well or not, right? His red and blue Crystal Palace FC scarf doing a paltry job of protecting his neck from the biting cold. So we know the guy's walking up a hill, it's cold and it's windy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. And then so you have that snapshot, another snapshot, and if you notice, we're doing full sentences here. From time to time, cars and red buses threw up icy slush from the road onto his clothing. Very clear, very clean. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And then you want to introduce the idea that he wants to cook, he's into food. So he kicked out at soft drink cans, or he kicked out at soft drink cans, sagging takeaway boxes of half-eaten chicken from cheap local takeaways. Yeah? Bad food, he thought. And that's it. Then you move wonderfully into his chef idea had never left him. Yeah. You see, so you can see the flow, right? Had never left him. Had never left him. His head was full of his mother's recipes, for example. And that's a full sentence. Yeah. You see, his head was full of his mother's recipes. Yeah. But there had always been distractions in his life, or marriage, fatherhood, a divorce that seemed to go on forever, and more recently, his best friend's death, or the murder of his best friend. Full stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can even leave that. You don't even need to dwell on that, because later on you will explain more fully to the reader. Oh, the murder of his
keep it hanging.
Exactly, the murder of his best friend Charlie. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you're putting Charlie deep, and then you can just move on. Yeah. There were always things to do that kept a man. There were always things to do that kept a man penniless. Yeah. Holed up in a penniless, holed up in a dirty flat, getting irritated or at the sight of decayed chicken wing. No hand.
Yeah.
There were always things to do that kept a man.
Yeah. Yes, all right. Yeah. I got it.
Whatever. That hold up in a dirty flat, and getting at the sight of the okay.
Yeah.
And then you move. Then you do, and now you want to. You see, your writing is your procedure. Your procedure is very good. I like that very much. And I, your prologue tells me, your reader, if I hadn't read anything by you before, tell me that you can write. Yeah. But you're just not focusing, you're not visualizing. Yeah. So what I get is that you keep jumping from place to place. And of course, there are times when you're doing that because you want to move on. That's fine. And you make a note to me.
Well, it's also one of the side effects of the injections I'm on.
Okay. Yeah. And Harry was now his second week, keeping it. Yeah. Right. And Harry was now his second week of keeping his eyes open or keeping his eyes and eye out for some premises, with promise, some premises with, so because he wants to open his bar. Now that's a lovely opening because the reader knows, one, he wants to open a bar, two, that he has a lot of financial issues. So he's in a very miserable place, right? So we get the story mission, as they call it.
Yeah.
Very clear and clearly established from the beginning. Okay?
Yeah.
No. This is the important thing. Right. He's looking for premises with promise. So you can take him home. Or maybe yeah. Or okay, no need to rush to his flat. That's fine. It wasn't warm out there, just more enclosed space in which to see his breast when he exits. That's fine. He complained to he complained to the landlords countless times. I changed that. I can send that to you about the radiators. Pay your arrears and I'll see what I can do. Right now, so we at that scene, wherever he is. Where is he now that I'm reading that?
Jojo calls is the next bit.
I know, but that's the point I want to get at. Where is he when Jojo calls?
Oh yeah, he's still in the street.
Okay, so how do you let the reader know that he's still in the street? Very simple. His phone buzzed. His phone buzzed. He answered. The phone buzzed. He answered. Brought the mouthpiece close to his lips because the traffic was passing. The traffic was loud.
Okay,
or try to shield the phone from the rain.
Yeah.
If it's rain or what, or his hand, his hand very cold when he brought it to his ear. So there is continuity. Yeah. I mean, when
cinematic.
It's cinematic. The whole thing is cinematic. That's why crime stories are the ones that tend to do most pop. They tend to be most to get most taken up in movies. For movies, because one of the useful element of it is that it is so cinematic. And that's what you want. That's if you keep in mind the idea of the cinematic quality of the book, the visual quality of the book, then you don't have a problem. And so if you keep in mind the visual aspect of it, right? And the other thing is, get out of Charlie's head. You're just too much in there. I'm beginning to actually not like the character because I find you've given me too much of him. And it's not as if there are moments when he would pause and think, and that's wonderful. But I want to see the guy living, and he's not living there. So and you write, you're a good writer. I don't give this thing away easy. I don't say this to people unless I mean it. But you literally sabotage yourself. You shoot yourself in the foot all the time where this thing is concerned. So what I'm saying here is to take your time. So, and and think about how readers read the book, how readers read. So, Joshua calls him, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? I don't even know if he picks up the phone, So Jojo's mobile phone rang, or the mobile phone rang. It was Jojo. What does he do? I mean, think about yourself. I called you. If you're in your study there, you either sit down, you pull a chair, you know, or at least you pick up the phone and you answer. So right? Okay. Acquired plaintive voice. She was clearly missing Jimmy, her dead lover. You don't. You can do that there, but I don't think, acquired plaintive voice. And then you can use that as an opportunity to fill in the reader, about Jimmy, about her, Jimmy, not too much. It's just a little bit about her, about Jimmy. She was clearly missing Jimmy, his best friend. Right. Did you indicate earlier that his best friend had died? I think we just talked about that.
We did.
Okay, so that
but it's just a quick pass.
That's good. That's good. So now we meet her. Yeah. We mentioned him. Now we meet the woman in his life. Yeah. She was still missing Jimmy. Right. And you don't even need to think her dead lover and Charlie's best friend, because we already met him earlier on and we know he was Charlie's best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing? He asked. Yeah. Charlie, yeah. He asked. Take out Charlie carried on. Huh? So how are you doing, Charlie? And then new sentence, Charlie stepped. This is good. That's a beat. She was clearly missing Charlie. How are you doing? Yeah. And then take out he asked and just have Charlie stepped over. Yeah. Right. Over the ice patches on the cracked tarmac. I'll drop your Christmas present around tomorrow. Yeah. And you're going to be in, and you're going to be in. Right. Now, yeah, sure, she said, yeah, I'm always in. Take care, he said, and clicked off. All right. And then you have this, you think of something to buy. Very, very terse. You just have too much of this. So all you have to do is give the, a jumper, and this is good, a jumper and chocolates, he decided. When he first met her, she was a shape, and that's nice. Last time he saw her, she'd become a scarecrow. She had become a scarecrow with a smile too big for her face. I like that. Yeah. It only served to emphasize her sadness. Yeah. He hasn't bought the jumper yet, so I don't know why he opted for the biggest jumper he could find. He's on the road.
Okay.
He's on the road talking to her. That's what I mean about you needing to. You need to do this thing as you're writing a movie. If it's a film, he can't get it straight away. You could say, for example, he thought of getting her a jumper. Yeah. So he thought of getting a jumper, and you don't even need that. You don't need that.
It's nearly there. It's nearly there.
Yes, but you're playing the ass because you're not focusing. And I want you to focus.
Yeah, because I was reading it. I'm going like, but it's obvious when you look at it like I think I've had a bit of distance from it now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But you know how you see how well you're writing, because no, but how you put in things that just mess it up. So I'm not criticizing your ability. I'm not criticizing. I'm just talking about you needing to pay attention to your work in a way. That so you got to visualize when you work, when you write, and you got to fill in.
I write too fast.